so impactful. And again, it's going to kill the exact same player. Lavlund is dead again. You're just never expecting the AWP in cave at 1 minute 30. Great rotations. Oh, this is just clinical. Hey guys, we're back. It's Byfield with another demo review. This time from the professional player JBone, the new FaZe clan sniper. And this demo review is going to be a bit more of a get to know, because obviously we've done Shiro in the last video, Simple before that. These are very well-known snipers, very well-known AWPers, and people have been asking me in my Twitch chat what I think about JBone. Oh my god. Jorko is another one as well of these new era snipers. These new era snipers and how they fit into the tier 1 scene, right? And to be honest with you, I haven't watched that much of their play. I didn't watch Big Academy with JBone. I did watch quite a lot of Jorko's games because my friend Mateos plays on that team as well. I knew more about Jorko than I did JBone, so that's why I wanted to start here. New FaZe clan AWPer. I don't really know too much in terms of playstyle. I know they had a very strong debut in China with FaZe clan. I know that Twist seems to be very happy with him, but he was very happy with Ultimate as well at the start of Team Liquid. So it's going to be interesting to see how he develops once the tier 1 players start to understand his playstyle, start having anti-strat on him, as that's really the problem that we saw with Ultimate. Was once professional teams had played enough reps and had enough games and matches against Ultimate, it just felt like his style of aggressive, re-peak, space-taking was just going nowhere. And it felt like he was so stubborn to change. I don't know if it was stubbornness, but it felt like Ultimate on the AWP really didn't change and adapt to tier 1 as well as he should have, you know. So it's going to be interesting to see how JBone does develop. This is obviously going to be a FaceIt solo queue game. Actually, I lie, it's a duo queue game with QB, former big player as well. And we're going to be watching to see how he plays Ancient. I don't think I've done an Ancient demo as well on my YouTube channel yet, so it's going to be really fun. Obviously, I have a YouTube guide on how to AWP on CT side Ancient, so take a look at that. We're going to be watching this to try and learn how he takes mid. If he is going to be throwing support utility for middle, like we already saw a support flashbang for Heaven there, aiming at the rock below the boxes here. So we're looking for what angles does he hold, what support utility does he throw, and what ways does he open up the round. So immediately as well, going to start towards Donut and have a support flash if his teammate needed it in jungle. Again, guys, very, very, very common setup right now in FaZe, but in Counter-Strike essentially is you will have the play with the best spawn for mid jump jungle. Why? Because he can get to jungle before, realistically, if there's flashbangs, players can come out and spot him. He can be playing in jungle and you have the second player in mid playing around Donut, and he will be able to flash, like you saw JBone do, this high flash here. Don't flash in front of your teammate. I know your teammate is going to ask you to flash in front of him, but these players in elbow are always going to see it. You want to try and get a flashbang that's high, out of their, peripheral vision, that's going to full blind them, and allow this player to peek from jungle and destroy any T's that are coming at mid. So very common angle that you will see. Another thing as well that you're seeing on your screens, let me go back quickly. This Molotov, I wonder if we can actually get it on the video for you guys, is this Molotov that's being thrown right now. You know, it's quite new, I'd say 2 or 3 months in the meta, but the fact that it's starting to get into solo queue now is a bit ridiculous. But this Molotov, oh no. Okay, I take that back. He just misses the smoke. Who threw that? There is a Molotov you can throw that will block the elbow smoke, but it's very hard. It's very difficult to do. So I was impressed to see it in a solo queue game, but it didn't happen actually. And now JBone's going to be playing this off angle here towards Ninja. Sorry, towards the Cubby. Oh, unlucky. Lavlund, shout out to him. Does manage to get the kill. So far we haven't really learnt too much here, besides that one setup in mid. And I would like to see JBone get the AWP out, but I do understand that it is FaceIt, guys. And you will see the AWP percentage of rounds played in FaceIt and solo queue is so much lower than what you see in professional play. In the Anime Graph 1 update, where the average AWP was like 35% of the buy rounds, the Anime Graph 2 update and the AWP has been buffed. Why? Because models are moving across your screen in a more predictive manner, and Pika's advantage has been nerfed. You're seeing more of a 45% rate of the AWP being played in professional play. I would say, even still, in FaceIt solo queue, especially at the higher elos, like this is a challenger lobby. You've got 2 pro players on this team. You've got a challenger level opposition. The AWP is played around that 35 to 40% mark. And I'll tell you guys the reason why the AWP isn't as good as you think it is in solo queue. You are able to be dynamic across the map. You can start in mid. You can then rotate in towards B. You can push Heaven with the M4. If they do an A rush and you're in the wrong position, you can then come through the smokes with a flashbang from your teammate and fight on towards A. This is the biggest thing. When you play a rifle, especially in FaceIt, If you start in the wrong place, it is much easier to rotate into a lost bomb site with a rifle, okay? Oh, I've just messed up the demo when I'm making my point, but... Okay, it's going to be a half buy here from the opposition. Obviously, with this buy, 3.4k, the 4-round loss bonus, you have to be anticipating the enemies to have head armor here. This is one of the biggest mistakes that I'll see when I'm playing FaZe, is people don't understand the money. They'll kill a Tech 9 or a Deagle head armor, and they'll say that they forced, and then that'll mess up your whole read of the economy for the next few rounds. So, let's break down this rotation here from JBone. He's going to start red room, do the second Molotov in towards mid, or the HE, excuse me. He's going to see no smoke towards red room, and this is going to mean two things. Either it's a rush towards A, but you can see his teammate's got a really good pause here, and as well, by this point, with his teammate being so close, he would be hearing the footsteps here. If this was an AWP in these kind of positions, where he's so far away from the footsteps, you could argue for JBone to go towards A and play 2-1-2, but because his teammate's so close, they know it's not A, they know it's not mid because it's very, very, very small chance if there's no smoke towards cave. So it's very likely going to be a setup towards B, and therefore they're going to play 3B on the CT side. Now, this is very interesting. Very interesting. I understand that QB, his duo Q partner, is the one in mid, so it's solo Q. You probably won't see as good rotations, but with JBone moving into the site, you should really be seeing this second player, Coyote, either positioning to give him space. He could play close towards here, Ninja. He could even play close ramp and get a flash for information from JBone, but I don't think they need it because they have so much info here. You could see him play position towards long to free up space for JBone to come in towards short, but he'll be making a mistake if he stays on site. And here comes the move. Nope, he's just going to come and then leave instantly. So Kyubi sees players in towards heaven, and that's going to enable him to rotate back. Molotov comes back out towards Able, should force out this yellow player to peek. He's an AWPer, guys. He's an AWPer. One of the biggest things that separates m0NESY, ZywOo, Simple is their rifle is on the same level as their AWP. If they are in situations where the money's low or your team's force buying, I mean, just take a look at Vitality's force buy win rates, for example. They wouldn't have such a good force buy win rate if ZywOo, who's in the star roles, star rotation positions, didn't have as good of an aim with a Galil, AK, you name it, as he does. You know, their AWP is here and their AK's here. You know, there's like this discrepancy in the level between how powerful their rifle is and their AWP is. And unfortunately, you saw it displayed there. So that's one of the biggest things that I can give you advice for if you're an AWPer. Work on your rifle. Even if you don't think you need to, because as you go up the levels in competition, your rifle is going to be tested more. The enemy team is going to be better, and therefore they're going to force you onto weaker buys and lower buys. Why? Because they're better players, they're going to be winning more rounds, you're going to have less economy, you need to be able to work with less, and an M4 is $2,900, you need to work with less. And also the other reason is it enables you to play different style of rounds, especially on your T side as well, like I mentioned before, enabling yourself to play those force buy rounds when you need to win rounds in must-win games at the highest level. Lovely angle. Lovely angle. And what's really interesting here, guys, remember, at the start of the video, I said I want to get what angles is he holding, what support utilities is he throwing, and what openers is he doing. This is one of these angles, and I'm really interested to see why he gives up this forward position. This is like, I call this Torzi, because Torzi used to play here like 90% of the rounds. This angle here is the most common one, right? You're close towards the angle. You don't want to stand right next to it. You want to be a little bit far back so the angle's, your model's a bit harder to hit. You're playing this angle and you see the shadow. And you see the shadow, but there is a really big but here. If you shoot from this position, you will be seen jumping back around this corner, okay? You cannot shoot and leave without being seen. And what does that mean? They'll have one player up here, one player here before they show the shadow, and they will 3, 2, 1 peek you. And even if you kill the first player, as you jump away, this player from up here will be able to see you. So I think the reason why JBone leaves this is because, there we go, it goes into this little cubby here, is because you can see the little cubby here, the corner. He's solo mid, right? 1, 3, 1. And I think if he had another player towards mid in any angle, even someone closer towards donut for him, I think he could have stayed here. If you are going to play this angle, and you've seen this angle from this video, do not make this mistake where they can cross and the red room is not covered. You can see the position Kyobi's in, where even if they cross red room, and again, we'll go back and watch the angle again. I don't care if you're m0NESY, I don't care if you're Donk. It is going to be impossible to hit a player crossing, wait for it, on this pixel line. I don't care if you're Monacy, whatever. They're going to run across, or they're going to run across, and they are going to be able to get into red room fast. And that's why you can see as soon as he gets into this position here, you're going to see QB rotate to a more passive position on CT line. And the reason for that is, as soon as JBone shoots, now red room is open, and QB is instantly covering that. And what's really beautiful to see is as soon as JBone leaves this angle here and plays here on an angle where players can run across, even if he spots them, Kyobi instantly leaves sight to play this position. Really good coverage here. Now, a very common rotation that you're going to see from AWPers, and you should do this as well, is leave donut open. You do not need to hold donut all the time, okay? If you are in a position where you have to choose between holding donut as your option 1 or holding red room as your option 2, I would prefer you to hold red room, okay? A really good play here is to see the CTs come for a mid regress. Obviously, Ethniq could come towards donut. I mean, Kyobi's already falling back, so he might come here and do this, and JBone's already here. But right now, the CTs need information, okay? They haven't got a main. They haven't, although this player here is pushing, going to get information. He's, actually, this is a bad push here. If he dies, there's no one on B, actually. B side is completely empty. If this KO player was instead to respect his smoke and play from, you know, these kind of positions, it would give the time, the space, if you guys play League of Legends, the tempo for the team to take regress control in mid and therefore stack 4B and have a really good position in the round. So he now dies, and this takes away from the regress mid. Interesting, he smokes there. That is really... I don't even know if I like that smoke. Let's watch that. I guess you're stopping them from being able to play this off angle here. But Lavlon does go through, and Lavlon does clean up. JBone rotating in now towards long. Searching. Lovely, lovely, lovely way he takes that angle there. Oh my god, insane quickscope. But unfortunately Lavlon's too good. Let's watch that from Lavlon's POV. So, I really want to show you guys something really important, okay? You need to understand this. If you have a left-eyed peek, okay? Very important. And you're a tier 1. You can argue whether or not it's a tier 1 player. He's playing on a tier 1 team, okay? You're a tier 1. You're the AWPer for FaZe clan, okay? The AWPer for FaZe clan. Probably the coolest position to have in world esports right now. You're the sniper for FaZe clan. You can still die peeking into Lavlon. You see what I mean, guys? Like, this is where the AWP isn't as good as you think. AK holding a right-eyed... The AK with the right-eyed angle is stronger than the AWP peeking with the left-eyed angle, okay? So really important to understand that when you're picking your peaks.
This video wouldn't be possible without skins.com, the best place to buy, sell, and trade skins in Counter-Strike with a 0% market fee. Skins.com allows you to take your old and boring skins and switch them out for something fresh and fancy. To do this, just log in through Steam, connect your inventory, and start trading, selling, and buying your skins immediately. All transactions are credited in 7 days in accordance to Valve's trade policy. Check them out in the description.
Okay, the money's bad for the boys from FaZe and Big Clan, QB and JBone. Oh, the run boost. Haven't seen that in ages. Oh, that's so... That is a shame. He failed the... Oh, God. That is a shame. He failed the movement there. They might do a reboost, though. Now, very important rotation. Let's see. He has control of middle. His teammates have been blocked in heaven. They've actually thrown a heaven smoke. Typically, if the T's are throwing a heaven smoke, it's usually a 3B default, okay? B default. Just remember that. And if the the T's are throwing a close mid Molotov, it's usually a 3 mid default. Why? Because you want to throw this close Molotov here to enable no CTs to be close on these angles. Why? Because you can't get flashed. It's very hard to flash this angle. You want to molly close and then pop mid with 1 guy here and 2 guys elbow. That is 3 mid, 2B. Why? 1, 2, and then 2, okay? 3 are towards the A side. Just keep that in mind when it comes to your rotations as an AWPer. You see this molly, you might want to stay around donut. If you see the molly heaven, they might be mollying heaven because there's only 1 here and there's 3 towards B, and they're trying to deny the information from the CTs. If they're smoking towards heaven like they have done here, again, that's to protect the 3B players here. So if you're an AWPer and you see these key utility sets, understand where to go. JBone's going to take mid control, see the smoke towards heaven, understand it's a B default, and JBone's got a fantastic rotation, a fantastic position here as well. And the reason this is a good rotation, again, we mentioned it before, let's watch. Jeff Hardy, look, Jeff Hardy's playing this position here. And then around here, JBone's going to call. I'm rotating B right about now. Bang. Wait for it. I'm coming B. Now, you can see Jeff Hardy is already towards long. When you're rotating in, the site anchor has to move. He has to give you space. And he should play a more aggressive role. So, Ninja, close ramp. The best example is Mirage. If you're rotating from window Mirage and coming CT, the site player needs to leave CT and play balcony on Palace. Default holding Palace, for example. He needs to move in. So, JBone rotates in and Jeff Hardy's going to leave long. He was playing backside beforehand. And now he's going to take a more aggressive position along this line around Ninja. So, very well played from him. And this gives space for JBone to rotate in with the smoke towards short. And with that, 3 kills. Lovely little... nearly gets 2 there. But it's really good trades, actually, from the T side. But it's not enough. And the round is over. Back to JBone on the AWP. And he's going to be starting B. Now, this is where JBone's starting to adapt. So far in this game, you've only seen 1 round where they've rotated... where they've actually gone mid. And in that round, they went late mid. If you remember, they molly jungle. They tried to pop mid, but it failed, and then they went back out mid-contact, and that's the round where JBone whiffed a lot of shots on the M4, right? Now, JBone is going to adapt and start on B. So one of the things the CTs haven't done yet is a fast B play. They've done the B pop, they've done the B contact late in the round, but they haven't actually done a B rush yet. Now, I want to point this out because I was actually thinking about this myself lately when I've been playing the AWP for my team. When the enemies have an AWP on the T side, I really like starting long the AWP. Why? Because I can counter the boosted AWP. However, and this is the point I'm going to make here, guys, when the enemy do not have an AWP, I find it more powerful to start short, even though technically they can be on boost. I find it more powerful to deny the cross to this cubby, okay? This cubby is so strong if the T's can get there because they can have one guy here, 5B essentially, and do a really strong, explosive pop, like sight pop, execute onto you from that position. If you rotate with the AWP late into the round and there's a rifler here, if you guys have played the AWP long enough, you've all died from this, where you're in the position JBone's in and then someone peeks you from this left side, from the cubby and kills you. So if the enemies have no AWP, and we know they have no AWP because they had a full buy in the last round where Levlon had the AWP and died, this means they have no AWP and you want to start here. JBone's teammate dies, and now JBone's going to AWP cave. Now, I haven't seen this demo, but I'm going to imagine JBone will get a kill here. Why? This is the first time the AWP has been in cave, and we're 7 rounds in. This is round 8 right now. It's the first time the AWP has been in cave. There you go. I promise you I have not seen this demo before. JBone is reacting to, you're not playing versus a mid default. The enemies are primarily playing in a B default. That's why he's starting here and denying the early peek and the cross towards the cubby here on ramp. He does that until his teammate dies in cave. And now he's playing the AWP cave at 1 minute 30. 1 minute 30, the AWP is cave. The enemies are never going to expect that, and therefore it catches them off guard. The next point to pause for, I'm sorry this is a lot of talking, guys, but there's so much to gain from this demo. I want to see where JBone goes next, because a lot of people have different philosophies about AWPing on Ancient. You watch Shiro play, and he is adamant about locking down angles, locking down these big, long angles and having Donut under control. And then you'll watch other AWPers, Sampaius, Monacy, but mainly Sampaius I'm talking about, where Sampaius will kill one and then rotate to the other side of the map. Kill one and rotate, and he's always dancing around the map. So different AWPers have different styles. Obviously, getting the AWP killing cave, you can argue that he can hold ramp now. This is why I want to watch this, because another really good rotation from JBone right now would actually be to go an AWP donut. You need to look at the round from the enemy's perspective. If you are the T players right now and you've killed cave, you've now got cave control. Obviously, typically on a default, you want to take mid control and then take cave control. They start as a B default, so you want to start with cave control and then take mid control from cave and from mid afterwards. You know the AWP is in cave, therefore mid is weak. People know holding the A bomb site with a rifle is so bad. It's just horrendous. You do not want to be doing that. So right now, if you're a T player, you know donut to A is very weak. So let's see how they react. JBone is going to opt to stay towards B. But the smoke means he's probably going to leave. Yep. So this guy's going to test A. And this is the problem, guys. It's so easy to test A when the AWP isn't here. So if we watch it on the demo from his point of view, obviously he's smoked off right now. And then as soon as that smoke fades, he knows there's no AWP here. There's no AWP. I'm not scared. I mean, this guy's holding it like a bot. I'm sorry, bro, if you watch this video. But you understand the point I'm making. The T's know that this is the weak side when the AWP is starting B. Nothing mid. QB sees nothing on A. Oh, lovely cleanup. Easy round. Okay, here we go, boys. Round 10. The self-boost. Actually, maybe it's a... Oh, this is really interesting. Oh, this is so interesting. Have they missed the smoke elbow on purpose? Some teams will do this, guys. They'll miss the elbow smoke on purpose. Oh, they missed the double... They didn't even throw it elbow smoke. Okay. So, one of the things that some teams will do is they will miss the elbow smoke on purpose, or maybe they'll fake miss the molly, second molly in elbow on purpose. And this will make this player, Lavlon, peak. Oh, nearly. That could have been a free entry there for JBone. And now he's been spotted. They're going to smoke it. So a nice little play that you guys can do in your FaZe It solo. This is going to work in FaZe It solo queue. It's probably not going to work the second time. It might work the first time. If you're playing in a team setting, I don't think this is going to work. But in FaZe It solo queue, 100%. Like in this example here, Lavlon jumping across, you are going to have a chance for an entry there. Just either missing the smoke or not throwing it at all. Having the best spawn from mid and jumping jungle, a T player is going to peek you. So, JBone rotating in now towards this site on B. Smoke, nade breaks on short. And now he's blocked off. And this is where having a rifle is so much better, guys. Remember I said if you start in the wrong place, having a rifle is so much better. 3v3. He was thinking about coming through the smoke there. He probably would have if his teammate had a better flank timing. He knows the short smoke will fade first. So he's going to start inside of that. Lovely quick scope straight to the USP. Oh my god. Again, guys, really important small detail is JBone knows the short smoke is fading first. Therefore, he will play from the short smoke, okay? Your in-game leader or your coach might say you should always retake with the AWP from long and lock down, you know, these sorts of really strong angles, all of this jazz. No. Sometimes just fading the smoke, whichever one landed first, will also expire first, can be a better play. First round, we've seen JBone start donut, usually starting here, then coming to donut. He is versus a half buy, so that could be the reason for it, just playing the AWP in mid, having these long angles. And another reason as well, guys, if you're an AWPer and the enemy team have the $3,400 round loss bonus, they will have Tech 9s, head armor, they'll have grenades. Okay, what gun do you think is going to be better versus a B-pop? An M4 or an AWP when this is smoked, this is smoked, this is mollied, and the flashes are raining in on the bomb site. Obviously, the rifle is going to be better versus an execute. Therefore, obviously they haven't done it this round, but it would make sense for QB on the rifle to start 3B versus the half-buy or versus the eco, and for the AWP to play these really long straight lines where he can kill one, fall back to A, kill one, fall back to CT, and just tell QB that they can be red room like they did earlier in the half. Lovely shot, love that. Might even get another one here as well for good measure. HE nade, Kobe! Oh, I guess the wallbang too. Let's go to the 14th round here. Sorry, the last round of the half, round 12. So far, we haven't seen a single mid default. None. Zero. Nada. There's been nothing in mid so far. And because of that, JBone's going to start 3B. Now, let's see the setup this time. The enemy can have an AWP. Jump spot. Oh my god, the double nade there is so powerful. I actually really like that. Double nade with the jump spot is really powerful to have early info. And now he's going to go through the cave smoke. Again, guys, look at the time. 1 minute 30. And the AWP has killed B. And now the AWP is in cave. So impactful. And again, it's going to kill the exact same player. Lavlund is dead again. You're just never expecting the AWP in cave at 1 minute 30 after the AWP has already shown on the map. Great rotations. Oh, this is just clinical. So easy. So easy, so easy. So an amazing half there from both the Germans, to be honest with you. 17 and 6, 104 ADR. It's going to be even higher than that once the next round resets. That's the way the scoreboard works. But I wanted to show you guys this game because he has insane stats and because it's ancient. But also, I wanted to watch this demo to try and get to know JBone. And again, this is my first impressions of JBone, the new AWPer from FaZe. I'm not seeing the most flashy, re-peak, aggressive style AWPing that you would see from a Monacy or Simple. Instead, I'm seeing really strong fundamentals. The fundamentals are so good from what I've seen here. Kill one, great rotation. Always starting in the right position at the right time. Making smart decisions. When he's left solo mid, he's playing the pixel angle, and he's saying that there's a chance they can be red room as soon as he shoots. What does that show me? It shows me that he should, how do I say this? He should adapt to tier 1 very well. When you look at Twist's former AWPer in Ultimate, he did not have the fundamentals. He had really good reflexes, good reaction time, and good aim. And that is fantastic for smurfing in tier 2. And that is also fantastic as well when you start in tier 1, because people don't have the data on you. People don't have the anti-strat on you. People don't know your style yet. So you're catching people off guard. But as soon as people understand, hey guys, if we play Anubis, Ultimate is going to re-peak Con 4 times in a row. Hey guys, we're playing Ultimate. It's Ancient. He loves to solo walk out Donut and die. We're just going to hold and wait for him to lose to himself. But what I'm seeing from JBone is he has really strong fundamentals. The pre-rotations are really good. The decision-making is really smart. And I like judging professional players' decision-making in FaZe solo queue, because it tends to show more of their playstyle in the sense of, you watch some pro players play FaZe solo queue and they wide peek everything like an idiot. It goes to show that they might have a little bit of that when they play in their professional games as well. So overall, very impressed, and I've got good first impressions of JBone. So let me know if you guys want to watch Jorko next, the AWPer right now for Team Liquid. Video is done. Auf Wiedersehen. Peace.